Welcome back to another Movies with Andy. Today's movie is Mortal Kombat 2.
Whoa! I really don't feel comfortable hitting a girl.
Don't worry. You won't.
Earthrealm's champions are back to take on Shao Kahn, but this time they're joined by Johnny Cage. So this one, of course, is following up 2021's Mortal Kombat. But before we begin, this movie review is brought to you by Taste Salud. Taste Salud has so many delicious flavors in the hydration and immunity, just like mango chili lollipop, the piña colada, and the manzana. And you can get 10% off these flavors and many more if you use the code Andy10. Yes, that's Andy10 for 10% off your whole order. So thank you very much, Taste Salud. Now back to the review. So let me start off with things that I liked about this film. So first off, I have to say that Johnny Cage and Kano were the big standouts for this movie. Carl Urban and Josh Lawson just did an amazing job with their characters, especially Josh Lawson with Kano. Kano is just so funny and so over the top in this movie, but he's just such an amazing character. And now I just want to play with him in the Mortal Kombat game, even though they're probably not the same, but I still want to use him because he just has a lot of funny one-liners and he just talks a lot of crap throughout the whole movie. And some of his insults are actually very funny. They all just came very natural to Kano. And then Carl Urban's Johnny Cage. He does an amazing job playing a washed out actor who has to figure out that now he's in Mortal Kombat. And at first he doesn't believe in himself, but he has to figure out what made him love martial arts and to unlock Johnny Cage. So Carl Urban did an amazing job with Johnny Cage as well. And also we finally got the tournament. Yes, we finally got a tournament of people fighting. And this movie has a lot of fighting. From the very beginning to the very end. And it was just cool to see characters from the first one and new characters in the second one just duke it out. And to use some of their special moves and fatalities in this movie. So that was just very cool to see that they finally incorporated the tournament in a Mortal Kombat movie. And yes, we finally got Shao Kahn in this universe. And he's just so big and menacing in this movie. They just did a good job of making him so scary and so unbeatable. And someone that you would be very afraid to go against. And the guy who played him is Martin Ford, and he is a big guy, which is perfect for Shao Kahn because it makes all the other characters look small next to him, which that's exactly what you want in a Mortal Kombat villain. And I forgot, another big standout is Liu Kang. Ludi Lin just did an amazing job with his character, and I feel like he got a big moment of shine in this movie, which was badass, because Liu Kang and Kung Lao have the best fight in this movie. You could just tell that they were both just martial artists duking it out in this movie, plus using all their special moves, which was just so badass to see. And I think this may be one of the greatest fights in all of Mortal Kombat movies, which is a big statement to say, and it might get some people very angry. But I just feel like both of them just did an amazing job in that fight sequence. And going off of the fight sequences, some of the fight sequences were amazing in this movie. Of course, there are some people in this movie that you know aren't martial artists, but they still did an amazing job as well. And the fight choreography, I feel like, was way better in this one than it was in the first one. Because like I said, it was just really cool to see them fight and use a lot of their special moves incorporated in these fights. So this movie got a big upgrade in the fight sequences, and it was well worth it. And there were also some pretty funny moments, but like I said, I feel like most of the funny moments were from Johnny Cage and Kano, which if you can't tell, they were my favorite characters in these movies because there were some very laugh out loud moments with their characters. And if we do happen to get a third one, I can't wait to see what other shenanigans those two characters can get themselves into. And there were some things that I didn't really like. Alright, I'm just gonna come out and say this, that some of the backgrounds did not look the best. I don't know if they were just trying to go for that 2D look of like the video game look, which would have been cool, but I just feel like the backgrounds just looked way too flat. Thankfully, we did get a lot of camera movements to make it seem less flat, but when we were just looking at the characters, it just looked very CGI, which it kind of sucks because the first one felt like it just had way more physical sets in that one. And this one, although it was really cool to see some of the Mortal Kombat stages, they just seemed way too fake and way too 2D, which I do wish that there were some more real sets in this movie. So I did say that this movie had a big upgrade in the fight sequences, but I just feel like some of those fights didn't quite make it up to the rest of the fights in this movie. Also, I don't know if it was just my theater, so I would love to hear other people's opinion, but I do feel like the hits in this movie were very low. Like when people were getting punched or kicked, it just felt very low. And even the music felt very low. So it might have been my theater, but I don't know, you let me know. Because I do wish that we felt more of the punches and kicks throughout this movie, which I feel like it would have made the fight sequences just that much better. Also, I do feel like this movie had a lot of questionable edits in there. I do feel like just sometimes there were just some jump cuts. It just feels like some of the cuts just advanced in time way more than what it looked like on screen. So now, would I watch Mortal Kombat 2 in the movie theaters again? As much as I like this movie, I don't think I would. I just feel like the audio in this film really affected it for me. And like I said, I don't know if it was just my theater, so please let me know if I'm in the wrong. I just do wish that we felt more of the punches and kicks, and the music was just very low on a lot of the fight sequences. Which that's what we want. We just want a really immersive fight sequence with the punches and kicks and the Mortal Kombat music in the background, which I feel like just really affected this movie for me. Which I'm not saying it's a bad movie, because I really did like this way more than the first one. And I haven't watched the first one since it first came out. But this one would be a movie that I would rewatch. But you let me know, what did you think about Mortal Kombat 2? Is it the best Mortal Kombat movie you've ever seen? Let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more movie reviews every week.